Attention! This video is made for scientific and educational purposes. The video does not violate YouTube's rules. Link to the document with links to the original video and quotes in the description. Hi. Today's video will be about how Panzer S1 ended up in Libya and why it has suffered so many defeats recently. For many years, there has been a civil war in Libya. There are two governments there, the LNA and the NTC. The Libyan People's Army is led by Marshal Haftar. He is a friend and ally in Russia. He was repeatedly in Moscow, meeting with top officials in Russia. With the Minister of Defense, with the foreign ministers, and accordingly, Russia is actively helping him stay in power. Including soldiers, personnel training, equipment, and so on. It is also actively promoted and helped by Egypt and the United Arab Emirates. The Emirates are probably the main sponsor of this local leader. It is opposed by the Government of Popular Accord, a government recognized in the United Nations that is supported by Erdogan. But let's go back to the Panzer S1. Many imagine it as an anti-aircraft missile and gun system mounted on a Kamaz chassis, but in fact there were sent cars on the chassis of a MAN truck. How did they get there? We have already spoken about the United Arab Emirates, so more than 10 years ago Russia delivered about 50 export copies to the United Arab Emirates on demand chassis. And they have already sent to the aid of the Haftar. This means that these particular Panzer S1 are not from Russia. We cannot say that the Panzer S1 were not successful. Many Turkish UAVs were shot down by both strike and reconnaissance aircraft. However, due to the fact that the base was far enough away from the main forces, it could not be held. Thanks to the transfer of fresh forces from Turkey and the use of unmanned aircraft. You saw all this back in the spring in a video from Turkey. At the moment, this database looks something like this. Small destruction is present due to the fact that the Turks attacked with their drones, which we have a video on the channel. Well, here is one of the captured shells. Probably the number of lost vehicles varies in various sources from 4 to 6. Among other things, Mirage F-1 fighters and bombers, training aircraft were captured on the base, and of course there is even a Su-22 export version of the Su-17 as a frontline tactical bomber, the ancestor of the Su-24. After that, the captured shells were rolled around the city. It should be noted that Panzer S-1 is not a Star Destroyer and not a Death Star. They can be destroyed, as we have repeatedly seen. But on the other hand, it is not the most powerful air defense system, and it is unknown what would have ended this story if the Turkish drones had faced a more serious enemy. But that's another story. Write in the comments what you think about the Panzer S1 and its combat use in Libya. Subscribe and watch our other videos from the world of weapons. See you soon.